Factorizing by the sum and difference of two cube roots. This is what we are doing at the moment. So let's look at the next exercise. Okay, factorize completely the following, right? So the initial part is the number one. So let's look at the number one. How do you do the number one? So for number one, let me just write the number one because the steps are longer here because you need to understand the concepts. So here, essentially what I'll do is I'll start off by putting this inside cubed roots, right? So let me put these inside cubed roots, which will be something like this. So I'll put a cubed root here of a to the power of 3, and then a plus. I have a cubed root here of 1000, or rather than 1000, I'll say 10 to the power of 3, because 10 to the power of 3 is 1000, right? So now clearly from this point, what you need to do is when you remove the square root, you'll have the 1 over 3 outside the bracket as the exponent, right? So you'll have the a to the power of 3 here, then plus. Similarly, you'll have the bracket 10 to the power of 3 outside the bracket 1 over 3. So clearly this comes back to what? To a plus 10. Now these two are very important. They are very crucial because they also need to be done in this form to get your middle number for. Okay, let me just look at it like this. A times 10, right? So I know why I'm doing this. And this is a format that I need you to follow at all times so that you can understand this. So we already know that the first bracket is going to be A plus 10 when we are solving this cubed root. The second bracket, right, we are going to have A squared, because this needs to be squared for your a squared, right? So, and then for this, it's obviously a times 10, which is going to be negative 30. Is it negative 10? Negative 10, sorry. Negative 10a. Negative 10a. You see, I'm also making mistakes because this factorizing of two cubes, it's tricky sometimes. So a squared minus 10a, and then here we'll have that 10, which is squared, which is will give us plus 100. So this is how you do it. So this is how you do the difference of two squares, right? For that first one. So let's do the number 2. Like I said, it's quite lengthy, but it's basics once you get used to the routine. So it's a routine type of exercise, 8x cubed. So again, you have two cubes. So what are you going to do? You're going to put that square root there, cubed root rather. So I'm putting that cubed root just to show you, right? That's what I did for the first one. So I'm doing the same for the second. So clearly I should have a bracket here, just to not to skip steps, because we know things. 5 to the power of 3. 125 is the same as 5 to the power of 3, right? Remember, since it's a cubed root, it stands to reason it will be 5 to the power of 3. Some things you should not stress yourself. If something they say is a cubed, you should take it literally as a power of 3, right? So even here, you have your 2 to the power of 3. So I don't have to really struggle. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. So those type of things are the things that you should know of by heart, right? Especially if you are doing pure maths. So clearly here we'll have that 5 plus 2x, right? That's how it goes. So here, like I said, I like using this to ensure that I get this middle number. before I even start calculating it. So I put a negative and then I put them inside by multiplying them like follow, like this 5 times 2x or 2 times, right? So I know that will give me 10x. 10x, right? This will give me 10x. So what I'm going to do next is I will then start with my solution. The first bracket is going to be that 5 plus 2x, right? And then in the second bracket, I must square this. So if I square this, so in the spirit of writing things algebraically, I'm going to start with this. I'm going to square this. It's going to be 4x squared, right? So remember, I said for the middle number, this is what you 2 times 5 times 2x is 10x. So this will give me negative 10x. And then lastly, I am going to have to square this. This clearly will give me a positive 25. And then that's how you answer the question. So we've answered 2. I would like you to test yourself. Here, my advice to you would be to take out the highest common factor first, which is going to be 2x. 2x, right? So if you take out the 2x, you'll notice it's doable. So the 2x, if you divide this by 2x, you should get 8x cubed. So that's a good sign. This should be 27y cubed. So you have your cubes. So that's how you do these exercises, right? Try number 3, and then we'll do 4 and 5 in the future.